Welcome to This Week in West Hempstead, sponsored by Spiegel Law PC, 516-873-1683, Tiffany Dry Cleaners, and Riester's Bakery. Here are your hosts, David and Norm. Take it away, gentlemen.
All right. Thank you, Dan and Norm.
Good to be back.
Great to be back.
What a day out there. Unbelievable.
Whoa. You know what? It's during the Easter Passover break, it was freezing. I mean, there were days that were like, you're just shivering and whatever. And you go out today, it's like 85 degrees and, all the leaf blowers and gardeners are having a field day. Just, giant clouds all over the place.
I had my grandchildren on the beach. We picnicked. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
It's great.
You may have been freezing. I was in California where the weather was very nice.
All right, Dan. Rub it in.
No one asked you.
So there's so much things that we got to dive into. Let's first talk about the school system, the school budget. The school budget board meeting met the other day. They released their school budget. Norm, any surprises?
Yeah, no, there are no surprises at all. I mean, the budget's about $82 million. It went up about 3.7%, which is probably the inflation rate today. But the big number, of course, is transportation. It always is transportation. Out of their $3 million increase, 1.4 is all about transportation, which they don't control.
I understand. It's a state mandate.
It's a state mandate, and a lot of kids are getting transportation out of the district, and the district really just has to pay the bill.
So with all that, any dipping into the reserve fund?
They went into about $1.5 million of reserve. I think they have about $3 million left. I'm not sure, but that's it's a considerable number. But they need to cover their budget.
And that was like 17 or 18 a couple of years ago, and now this is sort of paring it down to the bone.
Probably.
Yeah. There was actually a chart. I'm not sure if it was in that deck, but they had talked about transportation costs. And in that deck, West Hempstead came out like second or third from the top with the highest, transportation costs.
We have a lot of
in
kids.
Nassau
We have
County.
a lot of kids going to private schools all over
And charter schools, but
charter schools.
It's a problem. And around Nassau County and Suffolk County, you have school districts that are in real trouble. There are layoffs. They're piercing
the cap, right?
The cap. And there are real problems. That doesn't seem to be the case here. It seems like, again, it's like a status quo budget.
It looks reasonable.
I don't know. I mean,
well, we don't know. We don't know their competitive salaries.
Okay,
but we don't know their overhead really, whether it's competitive with other districts.
No. But I would like to know, for example, and hopefully we'll find out, as we get closer to the vote, and we speak to Karen Brom and get perspective from the board.
Yep.
For example, is school enrollment up or is it down? What percentage of occupancy is there in all the buildings? I also would like to know, for example, what's the average salary for a teacher with all the benefits in?
Compared to other districts.
And also even just compared to, what people make out there. I think you have to take a real microscope of the budget and start to look at things. You need to get ahead of the curve because, again, transportation costs keep going up. They keep talking about electric vehicles, which cost, some crazy number for each one of these things. You got huge facility costs. Medical costs keep going up. Medical costs, for example, I think the school district pays like 10 or 12%. The teachers have to pay 10 or 12% of their medical costs. Is that standard all around? Is that the right number? I don't really know.
The thing is, though, we keep having these same conversations, right? It's always transportation. It's always about occupancy and enrollment. Nothing has changed here. And, yeah, we've spent a big chunk of what was in the reserve fund, but this is not a different conversation from last year. And look, these transportation costs are not going down. Whatever the gas price is on now. I'll tell you something else.
I actually think the transportations will go up. Diesel fuel, which I believe a lot of the buses run on, and if they do, they're paying double for diesel fuel this year than they did last year, and that's a big number.
It's a really good point.
And by the way, we go to these electric buses. There's a whole maintenance cost involved, and I don't know if the lifespan of these buses is that much longer. might even be a lot shorter than the diesel-powered buses. So, moving to electric is not going to solve all this.
I don't know.
The capital cost alone is enough to kill you. So
there you go.
it's not happening tomorrow.
And not a good situation. And on top of all of this, we have the ongoing issue of the charter schools. And, will they have an impact in West Hempstead? That's, to be seen.
I think we'll find that out soon enough.
Yeah, I think recently they had a carnival, maybe it was a 2-day carnival. And, of course, people took to Facebook completely ripping into the charter schools
What
and
do they
saying...
think? They're advertising their
I know,
school.
but people believe that based on past experiences seen in other communities like Hempstead, the charter schools pose a potential threat to unions. The New York State dollars follow the student. So if that dollar doesn't go to the public school, it goes to the charter school.
Right.
And the public school, as we point out, they're teetering. It's really close.
Yeah.
But we have no numbers here, right? We don't know they've got 100 kids or 1,000 kids. Like, we have no idea. So people are just talking out of thin air on Facebook.
Yeah, we'll follow up on the story when it
Yeah,
settles
we're
in.
getting there. And again, I think the bottom line is, no huge surprises, which I think is a good thing.
Right.
UPK numbers are up, which is a great thing, especially going to Hank and to Hartora, which is really great for half of the community, and they keep the public school keeps putting out incredible graduates. So there's a lot to unpack there. But also on top of all of this, you got this this story that doesn't go away. The allegations that were related to the Cornwell school special ed teacher. John O'Dwyer is under criminal investigation.
Or allegedly.
Allegedly. Well, but
the investigation is real, but
it's been in Newsday and it's been in News 12. But I think what happened was it kind of got kicked up again because initially there was one family that came across, that was putting in allegations. Now I think there's like 10 or 12 families that have come forward.
Well, he's pleaded not guilty, and he'll have his day in court.
I guess, but, I guess the other question is, how does this also impact the budget? I mean, I realize schools have insurance. They do what they do.
They probably have a legal fund as well.
But this could be a potential, issue as well. And, who knew what, where, is another thing that's going around, in the media. So this is a pretty significant story that that's not going away. Speaking of things that aren't going away, Liberty Water, it's like crap coming out of your tap. Now, I don't get Liberty Water.
I don't either.
But I hear people complaining and complaining.
Yeah, the bills are insane.
The bills are like hundreds of dollars. If you know people who are looking, to move into West Hempstead, first thing you tell them is, move to where there's the West Hempstead Water District. Don't move to where there's Liberty. And then before Passover and Easter, you have people writing that there's like brown water coming out of their tap for like the last few days.
Yeah, but that happens every time.
I know
they
you
got to
flush the hydrants, but it seems like with Liberty, it's a crapshoot all the time. I don't understand. It's it should be a municipality. It should be run as a municipality, not as a private, district. So.
I don't think it's the worst thing if it's private, if they're doing their job. But if everybody's saying that the service is no good, you're paying 4 times as much for lousy service, doesn't make any sense.
No. It's bad for Liberty Water and good for West Hempstead Water. Again, in the news, and again, another recurring story. These things just keep going around and around. There's a case involving the Anatolia Mediterranean Grill, which, if you remember, is on the northern edge of Hempstead Avenue. And there's allegations, a second time, allegations of fraud, unpaid wages, broken ownership promises.
That's kind of a new part of it. They promised a bunch of employees they'd have an equity interest.
Yeah.
So the employers brought them up on charges.
Yeah. So this is time number 2. So I don't know. Not a good.
They're not having a good run.
Not having a good run. So earlier this week, we commemorated Holocaust Commemoration Day, Yom HaShoah, and there are two observances that are taking place this Sunday. You have at the congregation Shari Shalom, which is in
Dogwood Avenue.
they have a program that starts at 7 p.m., and the Young Israel of West Hempstead has a program that starts 8:15, and again, this is Sunday, April 19th. You can go online for the flyers. You have Rabbi Menachem Creditor speaking at Shari Shalom, and Rabbi Yotev Elielech speaking.
Eliach.
Yeah. Thank you, Dan.
That's my job.
Speaking at the Young Israel of West Hempstead.
Yeah, they're celebrating all over the country. I attended one at the Five Towns last week, which was really pretty amazing. It was actually Monday night, and 600 people showed up for a 2-hour presentation.
Listen, it's
The survivors are not around, much longer. The last of them are speaking this year and the next year, and it's just thinning out.
Yeah, listen, as the son of a survivor, I can tell you this is a subject that's near and dear, and unfortunately, I can't have the same communications that I would have with my mother and other family members to remind me of what happened, and it's tough.
It is tough. It is tough. And the real big problem for me is that a lot of the students don't understand what the Holocaust was. Many of them never heard of Dachau or Auschwitz. They don't know about 6 million Jews being murdered. It's amazing to me that it's not getting through in the education system.
Well, and there's a very simple reason for that. It's social media, and it's a fakakta phone.
Yeah.
So you stare at your phone all day, and you just look at your reader over and over and over again, and it's just feeding you crap. Some of it's true, some of it's not, some of it's my facts, some of it's your facts. And over the course of years, it's just turning people's brains into mush. So yeah, they and if you ask them to point on a map to Tennessee, they're not going to tell you where it is. So yeah. I mean, there's a horrible chasm of knowledge, of civic knowledge, that just doesn't exist anymore and they don't care.
Yeah, they don't care.
They really don't care. Because if it comes out of their phone and it makes them laugh, they're okay.
Well, I'll give a plug for a Wall of Tears. The Holocaust Memorial Foundation that I'm running. We're trying to build Holocaust memorials in communities and on college campuses. You can go to www.walloftears.org, and there's a slideshow that'll really give you the full education of what the Holocaust was all about.
Such an incredible, important subject, and
Yep.
wow.
Maybe we'll have you come down. We'll go to a commercial. What do you think, Dave?
Sounds like a good idea.
There we go.
Hi, I'm Jeff Wenger, owner and operator of Tiffany Dry Cleaners. We've made things even easier. Schedule a cleaning pickup just with one click on our new app or website. And don't forget, we offer free pickup, delivery right to your door. Tiffany Dry Cleaners gets it just right.
All right. There's a lot of businesses that have closed and never reopened. And again, looking at Facebook, people are asking, what happened to this store? What happened to that store? So, a couple of that people were talking about, number one, you have the former Lantern Diner. And that was a real landmark in West Hempstead on Hempstead Turnpike.
Yeah, and by the way, diners are disappearing all over the place. They've been replaced by fast food restaurants.
Yeah, it's hard to maintain 872 different items.
How did they do that? I still don't understand.
And have every item come out perfectly.
It's incredible in 5 minutes.
So diners are definitely a big issue, but the Lantern has a big chunk of real estate, and that's been, fenced off.
It'll be interesting to see what that turns into.
Yeah.
The old 7-Eleven turned into, I think, a professional office, right?
That's what they were
office
talking. Is it open?
It's not open yet. They were doing construction there. That's on
that's
Hempstead
good.
Turnpike.
So right near there is the Burger King. Now, I don't know if it's opened or closed.
I actually made a semi U-turn in there. I was trying to get across Hempstead Turnpike, actually, and I looked really, really closed. So I think it's gone.
there was some talk of potentially a car wash going there, which sounds really crazy, just because there's another car wash, a few blocks away.
Yep.
I don't know, but again, a nice chunk of real estate. More locally on Hempstead Avenue, you got the Tops Dry Cleaning space across the street from Riesterer's. That's been empty for, I don't know, 7 or 8 or 9 years.
Right.
What's going on with that? Now, part of that problem is it used to be a dry cleaner. And as
Who knows what's under
yeah,
it?
I mean, they use the solvent called, PERC, which is so toxic. And, did they do the right remediation? And it's so hard to deal with the real estate if there was an old dry cleaner, which also, by the way, is probably a good plug, for Jeff Wenger at Tiffany Dry Cleaners, because he uses Sensine, which is 100% environmentally safe, biodegradable. You never have to worry about it. But these old dry cleaners, man, they're just closing left and right.
I would think when they close them, they should do a ground test. There should be some.
Oh, they have to.
They take some samples to find out what the hell's under there.
EPA stuff up the yin yang, and it's oh boy, it's a real problem.
I want to step in with just one other thing, which is not commercial but residential, only because I noticed one of the real estate people in town posted this, that move-ins for Heritage Westminster are apparently maybe even starting today.
Wow.
Is possible.
That's breaking news.
But she wrote here, pre-leasing is winding down and tours are going on soon. So I think we may find that complex is starting to see people.
Yeah, everyone in the pool. I mean, the truth is, we were there for their topping off ceremony.
A year ago.
And it's beautiful on the inside.
Nobody can even imagine. Looking at the outside, you can't imagine what the inside's like. You're like in a resort once you go inside.
Yeah.
It's got pickleball courts. It's got a pool. It's got water features.
But I have to admit, on the, like when you're coming down Fairlawn Avenue, and now all of a sudden you see these 3-story apartment buildings, it kind of throws off your impressions of West Hempstead. It's like we're growing up from this little small town into an urban hub. It has its pluses, it has its minuses. But again, we wish Heather Woods, all the luck. And
as we've discussed, I mean, housing stock has been hard to come by, and this should make a dent there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And this other space, the old Key Food by the Lakeview Station. Like, what's going on with that? Like,
they were supposed to have a party's place. They're going to rent it out for affairs. But I don't know.
Boom
They never
VIP? Oh, my God. Don't get me started. Yeah.
By the way, this past week, there were about 4 cop cars surrounding the Boom place on Hempstead Avenue.
That's a daily occurrence.
Is it?
No, it's not a daily occurrence, but apparently the cops were there, quite often.
They had a party that got out of hand. I mean, clearly.
Not
it was a mess.
Not a great situation. So, Newsday recently, actually it was this past Sunday and also the other day, they had a story about bowling alleys in the community, and they also had a story very recently about pool halls. Where you can go and shoot pool. So, it got me thinking about it. First of all, the big question is where can you bowl locally? It used to be Sandy Lanes, but as far as I know, and we reported on this a year ago, I thought they closed.
In Malvern.
So if you remember, forgive me for forgetting the woman's name, but the woman who owned the place passed away
like a year ago, last July.
Sometime last year. Mm-hmm. They had said at the time they were still open, but I haven't been in a while. So I will say the one other place I know for a fact you can go is Garden City Bowl.
Yep.
On it's Stewart Avenue over near Westbury. So.
And also on Broadway and Hewlett.
In Hewlett, yeah.
And you got the Bowl
Woodmere
360
Lanes,
in New Hyde Park. You got Maple Lanes, which is in Rockville Center. So, there's a lot of great areas. But I tried this as I went to the Sandy Facebook site, and I see there hasn't been a post for a year. I tried to call the number, the phone's disconnected. I'm pretty sure that they're out of business. But there are a lot of local places. I think we should start a bowling league.
Now we're talking.
Count me out.
I would love. We got to reach out to Paul and see if he can put that.
Well, I can tell you about pool. I take my grandchildren to shoot pool on Hempstead Turnpike.
Ah, yeah, racks.
Cherry, I love that place. The place is empty during the day, so the kids, they treat the kids nicely. My 7-year-old shoots pool back with the cue stick backwards.
Wow.
And cleaned me out of $5 last year.
He's already a regular Minnesota Fats.
I was going to say
The kid's a hustler at 7
somebody
years old.
page Paul Newman and Jackie Gleason.
Yeah. Wow. That's, you know what? It's a great place. I've been there on a Saturday night. It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
They have you can throw darts over there also, and plenty of parking. So all good. So Facebook, we finally broke the 1,000 person mark.
Congratulations!
Yay. You know what? I think we're winning people over, one by one, but the numbers continue to grow. When you look at who's part of our Facebook community, it's like a who's who of politicians and important people in the community, and we continue to appreciate your support. You can also visit us on YouTube and on Instagram, where our numbers are growing as well. Just the other day, we posted a Facebook post on a repost of Riesterers. The Riesterers outside had this great sign that said "Free gas. Try our prune Danish." Well, guess what? We got over 44,000, views on this, and the thing is like gone viral. So
I love that.
We love the power of the brand. We love Riesterers.
The power of gas.
The power of free gas. Yeah. So very, very exciting. Other things coming up in the community. So if you're just watching us or listening to us right now, April 15th, tonight, legislator Alina Nix is going to be speaking at the library, or is going to be at the library, fielding questions between 7 to 8:30. Dan, if you recall, we had a really great interview with her.
Outside in the rain.
Yeah, in the pouring rain in Halls Pond. And really excited to see what type of energy she brings into the community. The other thing is, we haven't reported on it, the library has opened up their library of things.
I love this
I
idea.
mean, we've been waiting, forever. They got games, they have family fun items, they have tech projects, including VR glasses, projectors. They have booster cables to start your car. I mean, it's just green screens. I mean, it's just like all over the place.
That's so cool.
But it's really exciting. The instructions are on the website, or go to the library. And I'm looking forward to borrowing some of that stuff. And,
I want to try the projector.
Trying it on
that
Echo.
sounds great.
So hats off to the library, and now featuring all of their library of things.
We got a new hockey ring going.
Well, I think it's in the process. So the old PAL Hockey League,
it's gone.
Hockey rink.
The rink is gone.
Seems to be gone. According to social media posts and those in the know, they're just going to be rebuilding it, and it looked like it was needed a rebuild.
Yeah, it's been old.
It's been a while since I played on the rink with some of the. I used to call them the fat old guys playing on the on the Thursday nights. We used to go out there. It's not a big rink, but it gets a lot of use, and
maybe they'll expand it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's a great value to the community, and
listen, if the silt builds up again in Halls Pond Park, there'll be enough. Just build a rink on top of all the dirt there.
I think that's a great idea. I was looking at my bills the other day, and one of the bills that I get is for Newsday. Now, we talked about Newsday and all their stories, but I guess the question is, how many people still get papers delivered, and is it worth it?
I think it's just you at this point.
I think it is. I mean, I looked at the bill. Now, mind you, I get the physical paper just delivered on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. $41 a month. To me, it's real money. Now, of course, Newsday does a great job of covering local stories, and very often you get information that you don't get anywhere else.
Right.
And their digital product, which you have access to if you pay them, it's not it's firewalled. So if you don't pay, you can't get in. But almost all this information is available, and they have such a reliance on like AP stories of world events, which is like yesterday's news. So,
Sure.
So I guess the question is, is it worth it? Is it not worth it?
Well, I'm just shocked that they're still around. I mean, a lot of these local papers have gone under. Somebody's subsidizing Newsday, I'm sure, to make it work. And some of the smaller newspapers, the really small town papers, are still around, which is surprising too.
Yeah, the Herald, continues to pump out a paper. How long they can continue to do it, I don't really know.
In like a gazillion communities, right?
Yeah, and then you have all these free, papers
Penny
that
Saver.
come out. The Penny Savers, and then you got, like, for example, the Jewish newspapers, which come out once a week, which are all ad-supported.
Right.
And, that works too. But the old traditional papers, not so much.
Not so much at all.
So I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I'm thinking about it.
I suggest you have a cookie.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think now's a good time.
All right.
So I'm at Riesterer today, and I pick up my absolutely favorite cookie. It's, here it goes, Dan.
All right. I'm gonna bring it up to camera for a minute.
A little higher. There you go.
All
Dan,
right.
what are we trying?
Hang on. I will get back in front of my mic and then explain. All right. I will actually hold this up because I have my camera right next to me.
Yeah.
This is a miracle Linzer
All right. Repeat after me. Halachma. No, just kidding.
Wrong holiday at this point.
Sorry.
Incredibly delicious cookie. And I challenge anybody to tell me there's a cookie better than this. I was actually going to make a guaranteed money back for anybody who tried one of these cookies and didn't like it. But then you reminded me we have 1,000 followers.
Yeah,
on Facebook.
you could.
I don't think so.
You're not going to be rolling in the dough after. But
You will not go wrong with this
don't.
cookie.
All right, let's clink and dink.
There we go.
Right? Doesn't get better than that?
Yeah, but
I'm going to have to
mini
fill it
Linzer
in.
tarts.
I need
Don't
water.
miss out.
Don't miss out. Go to Riesterers. Dan, do they have any specials for this week?
Not that I saw specifically, but you guys talk for a little bit and I'll look it up. But as always, go to ourbakery.com. They got a whole bunch of products that you can ship to your aunt, your cousin, your kid in college. There's plenty of stuff to buy.
And if you're still awake after watching us, please have a great week.
Now, but the one thing I will say about Riesterers before we sign off, and they're not, they don't promote it that much. They make the most amazing dog biscuits. They're all natural. Dogs love them. You can get them online at ourbakery.com, along with, the best cookies and the best cakes that are available.
And for the religious dogs, they're kosher.
They are kosher. Yes, yes. So, get all your needs at ourbakery.com.
Before I miss it, lemon swirl slices, $3.75 on sale this week.
All right.
All right, so wow, that's a wrap, and cookies were great. Thank you, Norm, for bringing them. And again, don't sweat so much about the air conditioner. Even though it's April, you need to turn it on. Turn it on. Don't worry about it. Easy for me to say I'm not paying for your
There you
electric bill. Everyone have a great week, and we look forward to joining you next week on This Week in West Hempstead.
Take care.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Please be sure to visit our sponsors, Spiegel Law PC, Tiffany Dry Cleaners, and Riester's Bakery. To find out more or to reach out to us, come visit us on social media at Facebook and Instagram, or visit our website at westhempsteadecho.com.